Hey there. Think I'll hide out in the bright light again. Oh dear. Well, I accidentally have it on the HD settings, so um, we'll see if it gets jumpy. I'll redo. Are you going to be jumpy? Are you going to do right? We'll see. All right, now, this is something that really surprised me. It came through today. Oh, well, I lied yesterday. And you'll hear why it surprised me as I read it to you. It was something I hadn't thought I was going to be sharing. So, whatever, here goes. Communication with spirits. Are you ready? From Tuesday, 10:25, Mayan day, 10, Earth. It was a very special day for me. Okay. Things have gotten very deep of late. It's amazing how deep the emotions have run. Very intense. Watering my shirt again and again. The depth of this feels like Pluto, down to the toes and much deeper. Amazing. So, what's going on? I don't know. Hey, I'm just an observer here too. At some point, maybe I'll have some great big fancy awakening that I can come and tell you about. Meanwhile, this is what is, and I share with you here. I feel that it helps in some way, or I wouldn't be doing it. Light beings all yearn to serve, and I'm blessed to have found this way to do that. Okay, now, just why it is that I cannot come up with these things inside quietly, all on my own, I don't know. What's the magic of the journal anyway? If you find out, do drop me a line and let me know. I find it rather an amazing mystery myself. I mean, this is ink on a page, little symbols, right? What is so magic about that? Anyway, it is what it is, and I'm deeply grateful for it. So maybe give it a try yourself. You'll warm up to it, that's my bet. Now, what is inside right now? Gosh, I hadn't meant to say a thing about this for some times, but looks like it's coming out. I have mixed feelings about that, but I'll let fly anyway. Heart always turns out to be right. I've had many years of second-guessing heart and intuition. Now I know better. I just do what it says. Okay, so it looks like a new cycle is opening up for me. I am being told in a number of ways from different quarters that it is time for me to open up and begin direct communication with the light beings, with those in the family of light. What is that? Well, I have a very loose definition containing only beings like me, like you, who have devoted themselves completely to Source and to love, and to merging with that. Hey, it may have a much more specific definition on the other side, for all I know. I didn't invent the name, Family of Light. I read it somewhere. So, what does that mean? Let me get offline here so I won't get that noise again. What does that mean? Well, what I thought it meant is that I would work quietly by myself in perfecting my ability to tune in and communicate with them. Then, at the point of some basic level of mastery, maybe I would be asked to share. I don't know. Looks like that wasn't right, since here I am blabbing away. Oh well, one thing is certain. I know nothing. Beyond that, not much. Well, I guess that that I exist, is more certain. But anyway, you get my drift. I'm just along for the ride here. I'm not in charge of the train. Oh, I try to be at times, but overall, that's boring. It takes the fun out of life trying to control things. It never works. Better to just enjoy and follow heart. Heart shows you clearly when you must push or get intense about something. Pretty rarely. So, what I tentatively take from the fact that I am even talking about this is that it will be happening for others as well. That's my guess, so look for it. Maybe decide there within you what it is you really want with regard to light beings overall, beings from other dimensions, ETs, the ones we don't normally see. Would you be interested in talking with them? How would that make you feel? Do you think your ego might grow too big over that? That happens to a lot of folks. So many things to consider. Now, this is the peaceful time, the quiet time before any excitement that may be up ahead. This is a wise time to consider such things, so that should they present themselves, maybe in time of trouble or chaos or something, you have already worked through a lot of your feelings and beliefs around them, and you'll be more ready to deal and make wise choices. Just saying. As I've recently shared, I shut all these guys out. The good with the bad, it has to work that way. Oh, a year or two ago now. I'm not good with time, so I'm not sure. I don't know. The point is, I took a break from all communication with any of these beings, and them with me. If they weren't physically present with me, I didn't want to hear from them. Now, in my case, this even included God or Source, but that one is highly optional. I don't suggest that, cutting God out, unless your heart calls you the way mine did. It's earth-shaking. So, after a fast, when you come back, sometimes things look quite different. Have you tried a media fast, for instance? Even that can be a real shake-up. How we get to thinking things are one way only to discover something radically different is the case. It can rock your world. Don't go into this stuff lightly unless you want your butt kicked. It goes down deep into the psyche, in places we're not used to visiting. Okay, so hey, maybe there will be a general opening up of the lines of communication, coincident with the end of the Mayan calendar, which we can take to be roughly October 28th this week, or December 21 next year. To me, dates don't matter. I say if you can't see that things are changing radically already, well, you just aren't fully plugged in yet. Get into heart. You'll connect up with it all there, pretty much. I don't know, though. Heart's a pretty quiet space. So moving on, communication. Well, Alex Collier said the Andromedans were working with 4 different races at the time of his speech who had volunteered to be a part of a mentoring program for mankind. ET mentors, get that, huh? Maybe they will make themselves known. Wouldn't that be neat? Oh man, I think it would. I vote for that, but I really don't know yet what's going on with me. Here's what I've done. I've done the inner work to discover just what it is that I want specifically. I've pondered that and brought it to prayer. I don't know about you, but I already commune with light and light beings through my heart. I swim and play with the dolphins and the whales a lot. They're light beings, you know. At least I hope you know, because they are. And they can swim and play with you right there in that living room, that bedroom of yours. They can take a walk with you. They can go out of body too. They're not restricted or limited to the water. Now, the thing about that sort of heart meditation or communing is that it's heavy on tone or emotion and on wordless sharing, but it's not so hot for specifics. It's not crystal clear like a conversation would be. It's good at passing on meanings, but not on clarity of fact and detail, and I want that. So my first desire is that my communications be very clear and precise, that they be able to pass info and facts should that be called for. I mean, it may not. I just want this to be crystal clear. Well, that's a big demand. I don't expect that I'll be able to just dive in and come up with that as my first result. There will likely be a time of training to get experience and hone my skills. That's one of the reasons I planned to be quiet about it. Oh well, it is what it is. Now, what else do I want or expect? Well, life has shown me that both the water and the dirt go down the drain together. You can't get rid of just one. Thus, I expect that it won't be only light beings that come calling, that knock at my door. I have to be open to both. Yeah, that means some dark beings will likely come calling. So, what are my ideas or intentions around that? At first, I will likely do all I can to hold them at arm's length. Yeah, many arms. I would prefer to be well trained and more experienced at this before having such dealings. Oh, well, if beggars had horses, everyone would ride. It just is what it is. How good are you at accepting that, at allowing everything to just be? What would be your reception for these ones? Just things to consider, and I am. The joy and beauty of our waking up, folks, is the disappearance of fear. Sure, more fear seems to come up to be uncovered, but if you take a good look, I think you'll find you've gone down into deeper levels and layers. You're clearing things out progressively. You're not clearing out the same old fear again and again. Or if you are, it's different aspects of it. Now, I'll take a pause here and say it's possible that you're shooting yourself in the foot and accepting the fear as real again and again. But that's less likely. Okay, how to clear out fear? Well, just sit with it. That's a very good way. Sit there and just look. See if you can point to its foundation, its origin, its cause. And if you can, have a look at that. You'll be very surprised at what this just looking can do. It's very powerful. Seeing is doing. It is not a passive thing, no matter the look of it. Vision is an active sense, this kind of vision, spiritual vision. Say you have anxiety. Under that, you'll find fear. Is it anger? Fear is there too, a little better hidden, but if you look, you will find. I have found fear to be the common denominator for most so-called negative emotions. It is found at their base, if not right out in the open. So look for fear. I recently heard Anelia say this too. You'll find it. Believe it or not, we're loaded with this stuff. It went in with all of our programming, and it's solidly placed just about everywhere until it is seen, and then it runs like the coward that it is. Don't push yourself, friends. Do only push, and only as hard as your heart dictates, not your mind. Now, but don't listen to me or anyone else on these things. Love and respect self above all others. It's the only way to stay tight and in touch with your central core. And that's what's going to get you through every and anything, that central core. Be true, be loyal to that. That's the number one loyalty and place for your trust. Now, if you're really looking, really digging, you will likely find that you don't love yourself very much. Most of us discover that. Maybe you already have. Oh well, don't condemn yourself or cry over this. It just is. Accept it for that. Make the change. Use your intent, your free will. Set the intent that you do love yourself, and you will walk your talk on this. And then just sit back and watch the fireworks. What do I mean? Every old idea and belief that we harbor down deep under conscious awareness that disagrees with our new love of self will come up rip-roaring front and center to argue the point. So get some popcorn, center down, and prepare. Some uncomfortable moments are on the horizon. Just remember, some of the greatest gifts come in the darndest packages. Acceptance, remember, accept it. Don't fight it. Now, that doesn't mean to accept beliefs you have outgrown or outworn. It means just to accept the fact of their presence, just that they exist. Most of us don't want to give them the time of day, refusing to believe that they're even there. Oh no, we want to fill ourselves with light, bright thoughts. Well, that's the way to drive forward in reverse. Not so very wise. So be alert, pay attention. Oh, and be sure to enjoy the show. Gosh, I hope I haven't set up any false beliefs with this journal. No, I don't yet. I don't intend to become yet another channel for beings to come in and speak through. I am looking forward, however, to having some very high-placed advisors to help me work things out. I do hope, too, that the higher mind may make itself known rather quickly. I've been cruising along absent the mental mind and without really anything much to replace it. I've likely lost more than a few viewers over that. It's just too hard to put yourself in my shoes when you're used to nothing but mind. And I respect that. I understand. Heck, I even think I'm strange, folks. That's not news. Even if and when it does, and maybe I have one of those awesome experiences we hear people talk about, even then I'm not much on mind being the tool to best take me home. Home in consciousness, of course. Heart does a fine job, and I'm convinced you can ascend without mind getting you there. All it does is get in the way. Have you noticed that yet? So, blessings and light to you. It feels strange sharing this about communication with spirit before I've even had time to digest it myself. The signs are clear and unmistakable, though, so look to your life for the same. I can't see myself being the only one involved with this. Hey, who knows what is just ahead, huh? Oh, and let's all remember, be sure to enjoy.